Owner builds. What if you can be mortgage free in 24 months, just going in and building 2 homes, and you never built another house ever again? One of the biggest attributes that the single family home market brings to the table when you do ground up is its viable equity. But there's a specific business model in that viable equity, and most people don't understand what that business model is. Most people will go in and they'll compress what they want to do on their very first build because they're scared. So they'll sit back and say, I want to play it safe. So when they go in, they play it safe. What ends up happening is you land up compromising your overall profitability and the upside equity that would otherwise give the bank the leverage that the bank needs to be able to retain the equity as the down payment on that house. So as an owner build, what I always tell people is, if you're already living in a $300,000, $400,000 home because that's where you're maxed out financially based on conforming lending and your debt to income ratio, then great. That's great in the moment. But now that you learn the 2 things that I'm going to talk about today, this will give you bandwidth and leverage to ante up to go live in a better neighborhood with better schools, better quality of life, bigger yard, and a place where you can actually live the old school American dream where there's still equity in a home that you can actually retain and take with you and take advantage of the #1 best tax incentive that you have as a sedentary, normal, average homeowner. And that's the incentive to take advantage of having no capital gain taxes on up to a $250,000 profit if you yourself are single, and if you're married, up to $500,000 tax-free on capital gains when you sell that house after 2 years. Now, here's the biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen, is most people think that buying a piece of land and building a house is a massive, massive undertaking. And I'll be the first to tell you that if you allow yourself to go through these builds emotionally, it is going to wear down on you because of the stress. So I tell people, this is a day in the office, just like going to work. And most people don't wear the day in, day out on their shoulders like they do a home. And it's because they feel like this is their forever home. No, this is your interim home to take advantage of leveraging what the U.S. federal government gives us as a tax incentive to be able to go in and leverage the equity that we have in our homes as profit, tax-free, for after 2 years. So one of the biggest things is being able to position yourself in the right business model. The right business model is not conservative, because if you take a $450,000 home or a $500,000 home, you look and you go, wow, I could build a nice $450,000 to $500,000 home. Yes, you can. But the problem is the upside equity on that home is not going to be any more than about $50,000 to $70,000. So the problem is if you do a dividend of that, so if you divide that out by an 80% loan to value, the upside profitability, that 20%, is in excess of that $70,000. So there's not enough equity to cover the down payment on that home. Now, for those of you guys that are doing like FHA financing and you're going in, you're leveraging 95%, it does. And it does cover that. But the guidelines are a lot more strict, so you have to follow those guidelines to a T in order to get FHA financing on a one-time close loan that allows you to go in and do a construction loan, build the house, and then have a stabilized loan on the back end with a one-time close on the front end to be able to go in and take advantage of that one-time close FHA construction to perm loan, which is a great loan to be able to utilize. Now, for those of you guys that are veterans and you guys want to leverage VA homes on an owner build, God bless your heart, absolutely. You can go in, use a VA loan to do a stabilized loan on your finished asset and go in and leverage a conventional construction loan to be able to build a house. Now, for the vast majority of people, you're going to do a conventional mortgage, going through a conventional lender, which is a small credit union or small local municipal bank, is what I typically recommend when you're going to do an owner build, because now the relationship is more of a personal relationship as opposed to a relationship that becomes transactional based on you being a number, dealing with the large guys like Merrill Lynch, which is Bank of America, Citibank, Chase, and all the big guys. JP Morgan, those banks, you're a number. So they're just processing paper. And if you don't have the right broker processing paper for you, you'll probably get denied. So I tell people, go in and have relationship banking, because there's local banks and credit unions right in your neighborhood that this is their specialty. The vast majority of their income comes from mortgages, because banks, they land up making money off of lending money, and the vast majority of the small banks are community banks that you leverage their community And loans through that community, like automobile loans, house loans, small credit card financing, those small loans keep that bank alive and they depend on it. So your build is actually an attribute to that neighborhood and it keeps that bank moving and transactional and it keeps them alive. So ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things is you can't go into a small build and expect to be zero out of pocket because there's not enough upside equity in that build. So what I always tell people is go a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Put yourself in a better neighborhood. Go out there, instead of being in a $400,000 neighborhood, ante up to a $700,000 neighborhood. When you go just a $300,000 to $400,000 increase in value, you may think you can't afford it. But the reality is, if you have $200,000 in profitability in that build, that goes right down to your bottom line. You take a $700,000 home and it only costs you $500,000 to get into. So the same leverage that it would otherwise take you to get into a $500,000 neighborhood now puts you in a $700,000 neighborhood or better. Now you have the ability to put your kids in better schools, better neighborhood, and better economics all the way around. And so the banks will look at this entire build because of the upside equity, where you will have very little to no money out of pocket. And here's how it works. You go in, you underwrite the build as a $700,000 build because it's a $700,000 house. How do we know that it's a $700,000 house? Because we've went out and vetted the market with comps to make sure that the neighborhood that we're building in truly supports the upside resale cost of that home of $700,000. So we take those comps from that neighborhood. What it allows us to do is underwrite it on an average median build. So if it goes out and we underwrite that at a $150 per square foot build cost, which is over the $141 per square foot national average that the National Association of Realtors tells us, this allows us to go in and leverage that upside equity of about $200,000, $180,000 as our physical down payment because of the equity standpoint that we hold in that asset. And so the bank will do a reduction of proceeds from the $700,000 to fit the overall loan to value ratio that they're willing to give you on that physical build, allowing you to take that larger equity stance because of the increased value of that home and position it to your bottom line to allow you to come in with very little to no money out of pocket. So one of the biggest things that you need to do for you and your family right now is understand the business model behind buying land and building houses. The most advantageous aspect that you have doing an owner build is the leverage you create against the loan and the upside equity that you have as the end user. The final attribute that you have is the tax incentives with it being a single family home. So ladies and gentlemen, the house, the build, the equity, and the profitability are up for the taking. The question is, do you have what it takes to be able to learn the simple process? Most people think it's an undertaking. It's not. Going out and buying a home that's a fix and flip or a fixer-upper is more of an undertaking. Plus, you're living in a piece of shit while you're going in and you're trying to get yourself to a place where you can be at a better place in a better neighborhood. You're compromising the quality of life that you're living in because now you're buying a house that sucks. Now you're going to try to put some upside value. Keep your fingers crossed that the American dream still exists and it's going to go up in equity, which you have a great opportunity for that to happen, but over the course of how much time? What if you built the house today and because of how economics works with a new home, 9 months from now, a year from now, the house is worth $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more than the day you finished it. So now you take that upside $180,000 in equity, and now maybe you have $230,000 in equity, allowing you that when you do sell that house and after you pay all your commissions, you still have a surplus of in excess of $200,000 in equity that you're able to use for your very next home, or you can pocket and utilize for retirement or whatever else you want to utilize it for. Ladies and gentlemen, there's tons of housing hacks, and I'll be the first to tell you that I am biased towards the ground up game. But at a time, a day, an age, 28 years ago when I knew nothing about construction, where I knew nothing about the equity in construction, didn't know anything about cash producing assets, and I was in a position where I didn't really know what I was doing in the direction I was going. All I wanted to do was make money to be able to set up the foundation of my life. I found a business model that worked for me, and it wasn't because I had experience in construction. I tried the fix and flip game. I tried making money in rental homes. I tried going out and doing it in retail. And yes, we did have success in those industries and we did have success in those areas, but the overall profitability, time versus reward, and for financial return, the ground up game, tenfold, out-earned, outperformed, and de-risked the overall transaction exponentially. For more house hacks, investment hacks, and real estate hacks, click and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can always update you, keep you moving forward on your transactions, your real estate investments, and help you continue moving forward in your life with real estate and compounding your long-term success. Click and subscribe, pound that thumbs up button, and until next time, we'll see you inside.